People keep asking me how I do the brickwork on my buildings. So I've just printed off these little bit test cards here. Now I normally print in black because if you're doing buildings and you want to put lights in the back, if you print in black you won't get light bleed. Any other colour you're going to have to paint the inside of the buildings, which is more work to stop the light bleed, or make light boxes for your windows. So you just print it in black PLA and you've a good start to it. I give it a coat of a grey car primer, any cheap car primer. I buy a box of 12 off eBay, cheapest I can find. Covers nice. Then I give it a coat of red acrylic paint, any cheap, it's just stuff, any stuff that's cheap. It doesn't have to be posh stuff, it doesn't have to be Valero or anything like that. Cheap acrylic paint. I get mine from the craft shop or the supermarket. And then we've done a bit of leopard spotting here. So number one was your basic, that's terrible print on there by the way, but you get the idea. Number one was a grey primer, then it was red, and you can see I've added a bit of yellow, just add a few colours, and here I've dabbed on a bit of black. It's just going through and just add a little bit at a time and see. It looks terrible now, but you'll see it comes all good at the end. So it's the method called leopard spotting. So you just dab a bit on, dab a bit there, a bit there, everywhere. Don't do it, well, some people do, they colour their bricks in one by one. It's not my style, it takes far too long. If you see, I've just rubbed over the different bricks. A little bit of colour here, a little bit of colour there. You can bit your bricks out if you like, but it's not my style. So, and painting buildings, I always start with the windows and doors. Normally I airbrush them because they're such a pain. If you do lots of windows, there's lots of painting. So I just give them a blast of whatever base coat. That's the spar green. I'll blast all the windows and then I'll paint the walls. So these walls here, it's just the colour's not very great, but that is just a plain red acrylic paint, very cheap. There you go, acrylic, yellow and red, and then mix a couple together, get an orange, dab dab dab, a bit of black. You can see it's blending in a little bit. Then you have to give it a coat of, well, I use clear, which is a floor polish. A litre bottle, dirt cheap, run it through the airbrush. It dries very quickly. So, and then when you add anything on top of that, you're not going to rub away your paintwork. But that is the finished paintwork there. Looks terrible. Add your clear, and then that's a terrible picture again. I use a powder mix. It's plaster of Paris with powder paints. I don't know where you get mine's old stock, but as a kid you used to have powder paint. You used to put it in a pot, bit of water, and mix it up. I know all these poster paints come pre-made now, but if you can get hold of some of that, or even I've seen people use grout, colour grout, but I use poster paint with a bit of plaster of Paris. Slap it on, rub it in with your finger, get in the grooves, and really that's all that's to it. on that now, I would either seal it with an acrylic. This is the next one. I use an acrylic. It's a good quality one actually, this one, but it's a matte varnish. Give that a spray and you're done then. That's it, job done. You can also weather it more. Sometimes I put this powder stuff on and I'll flood the area just with a paintbrush and it runs down, but it gives it just more effect. You can play with it, you know. It's one of them. It's a technique you just have to have a go at. So plaster of Paris with some colouring in, and that's basically I use that one on the right for everything I sort of do now. It's a fawny colour, and it's plaster of Paris with a powder paint. All my figures get dipped in a bottle and shaken around, put it on the bottom of locos, and that's the way I do my brickwork. Hope it's a help to someone. Thanks for watching.